Ben, we want you to continue that terrific tipping form. How are you seeing the sprint? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Great day to finish off the Melbourne Cup Carnival at Flemington today, and McKinnon Stakes is the feature, of course, along with the VRC Sprint Classic Waterfield there. And I think the favourite's going to be awfully hard to beat in the McKinnon Stakes in Blair House. He's been specifically set for this run. He ran second in the Caulfield Stakes to Ben Battle. That horse, of course, then went and ran second to Winks in the Cox Plate. Looks the right form, and unfortunately the McKinnon lasted to death today, and for that reason I think Blair House probably looks the best bet on the program.
Okay, yeah, we see the Ben Battle form holding up, and obviously Humidor running home really nicely this race. But the one thing about Blair House, he was just defiant in front, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was a tough effort. He looked the winner of the Caulfield Stakes including stages, but Ben Battle a little too tough for him. That form's great though. Humidor, you mentioned, was a gap back to third. Other horses like D'Argento, Unforgotten. It was a strong form reference. And I think it's the right reference for the McKinnon Stakes. If there is going to be an upset, I suppose it depends how the race is run. If it turns into a genuine contest, which it probably doesn't look like it's going to be on paper, but if it is, then we know Extra Brute is an outstanding stayer. He won a very fast-run derby last Saturday, and he gets right down in the weights under the weight for age condition. So maybe he could take advantage if it was a genuine race. And if it turns into a sit and sprint, then perhaps Shillelagh with her blistering turn of foot could run well, because it doesn't look like there's a lot of pressure on paper, and she's got that great 600-metre sprint. But 2,000 metres for the first time for her looks the big query. She's never done it in 29 starts before, and she's a 7-year-old mare. So it really does look a nice race for Blair House, who's been set for the McKinnon Stakes.
It is an interesting dimension of this race, isn't it? That we've got a couple of classic winners, one from the Northern Hemisphere in Latrobe, and obviously last Saturday's Victoria Derby winner in Extra Brute. How are you weighing up that clash in itself, especially when we're seeing only 6 months difference between them and 6.5 kilograms between them as well?
Yeah, it really is. It does add an Latrobe. It was, I think, originally brought out here to try and win a Melbourne Cup. They identified that might be a little tricky for him, so they set him for this race instead. So it won't surprise if he runs well. I was thinking that maybe the likes of Blair House and Extra Brute might have a better turn of foot than him, but who knows? You line up that form through Rostropovich, and certainly you can make a case for Latrobe.
Okay, so can you sum up your bets for us today, Ben?
Yep, so we'll kick things off nice and early. I think Blair House is one of the better bets on the program, if not the best. But the other one I think that's probably contending with him is Lucky for All, who goes around in the second race. There's going to be a few people making a case for his rival in Gannon Roman, who makes him 2.5 kilos better and probably had the inferior run last start. But I like this son of Tavistock, Lucky for All. I think he'll relish Flemington. He's a really immature type. He improves every time he goes to the races. I think he'll take a step forward again. I like him as one of the better bets on the program in the second race over 2,000 metres. Outside of him, it was hard to miss the run of Ring a Ding Ding last start at Moonee Valley. He ran on well against the bias on the day. He was only average at 1,402 go, but I think you have to ignore that run. He didn't have the blinkers on. The blinkers went back on last start, and he was outstanding against the pattern. So on the big track at Flemington, I think he's got a big race in the third, Ring a Ding Ding. And in the fifth race on the program, got a lot of time for Jarmay. He ran well behind a Prince of Aaron last Saturday in the Lexus Stakes. And it was a slowly run race. I don't think that suited Jarmay at all. He's a good stayer. He doesn't have a great turn of foot, but he can stay. And he was held up on the turn when he needed to be building momentum in that slowly run race. And I think he probably wouldn't have, in Prince of Aaron, but he certainly would have finished a lot closer with better luck in running. And I think his Flemington record is outstanding. He looks really well placed on the back up in the Queen Elizabeth today at around, I think, about the $485 mark.